Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, a new beer review, and once again I have Monique with me. This is Anchor Brewing out of San Francisco, California. I can't imagine everybody doesn't know that though. This is their 2018 Christmas Ale. This is about 44 years of making it. Here's what the bottle looks like. You've all seen it before, I'm sure. Just a Christmas tree, an old school label there. It looks like something maybe from another century, really. Obviously, this is seasonal beer, early November to mid-January. The 6-pack of this cost me $10. Along the top here, there's a fairly long story that I'll read part of it. This is the 44th annual from the brewers at Anchor. It is sold only from early November to mid-January. The ale's recipe is different every year. That's interesting. I actually did not know that. As is the hand-drawn tree on the label. But the intent which we offer remains the same. Joint celebration of the newness of life. I don't want to read anymore because I have to keep rotating the label. So it's a different recipe, different label every time. That's just, in a way it's kind of interesting, but in a way it's bad because if it's a beer you really like, well, it's gone now. I'll never make it again. The website says a little bit more to it. Our annual Christmas ale is a subtly spiced and sumptuously smooth winter warmer. This is the 44th release of it. 2018 Christmas Ale has varying malts, blending rich flavors of brulee sugars, halty spices, and banana bread with a velvety finish. The aromatics are quintessential, that's where I can't pronounce, for holiday season. Nutty candy yams and resinous pine. It pours with a nice mahogany brown color with a fluffy tan head. First brewed 1975. First bottling 75. Alcohol 6.9%. Availability November, January. Malts, hops, dry hops, all top secrets. I have no idea what the IBUs on this are, but they can't be high at all. They shouldn't be. Body style should be full body. That just seems typical for a dark Christmas or holiday beer. Can't really tell you what to expect from the flavors, what's in it. I'm sure that they use some dark malts, maybe some roasted malts or something like a dark Munich, a Kara Munich. So talk about sugars, spices, and banana bread. That would be from spices, not from malts. I would say think about dark fruit, so that leads me to think they're not getting flavors from dark kiln or roasted malt. Winter beers are heavier, fuller bodied. They're dark. They are very rich, malty. Maybe some dark fruit flavors or candy notes. Maybe roasted or toasted. Heavy caramel. Possibly some toffee, sugar notes, dark fruit notes out of them. Spices are not uncommon. Medium, a little bit darker mahogany color. It's been clarified, so it's clear with that rich brown tint to it. Very thin head. It started off about 1/4 inch. It's died down now. There's no floating sediment in it.
It's still strongly carbonated too. It kind of resembles just a lighter comparison to like a Coca-Cola.
I don't get sweet out of it. I get cooked sugar, caramel, and some rich malty in the aroma. I'm getting a little bit of spices out of the nose, but I can't distinguish what they are. It makes me think of the gentle wafts of holiday candies. When I drank it, it ballooned up in my mouth, covered the top and the bottom equally. Gave everything a light coating, cooked sugar, and maybe some dark candies in there. A caramel, a toffee.
The good taste to it. It has a slight, just very slight, subtle bitterness to it.
The flavor, after it coats my mouth, it dissipates pretty quickly. I do get a little bit of toasted and roasted, but just hints of that. I don't get the bitterness like Monique does. Not terribly rich on my palate though. It tastes more of a medium body to me. I'm getting a little bit of bitterness down the bottom, the back of my throat. I don't know if that's necessarily from the hops or a dark malt though. because some malts can have a bitter astringency to them. I don't get any bread, biscuit, grain, malt. I don't get any of those flavors. I don't get any fruity notes or candy out of it.
I get a slight fruity note to it.
So I'm not getting chocolate, coffee, anything of that nature. It's just that dark burnt sugar caramel toffee. If there are any spices in it, I couldn't tell you what they are. I actually don't notice any of the proprietary spices that they're talking about.
I think it has a hint of molasses. It's not, I think that's what I'm tasting.
The mouthfeel is thick, not quite chewy. It's not full of flavor. There's not a whole bunch of flavors coming out at me. The flavor profile, when they're saying nutty candied yams, pine, banana bread, spices, sugar. The sugars I get. Most everything else, I don't get banana bread. I'm not getting a velvety finish to it. It does taste like a dark, a deeper caramel or caramunic or such malt like that was used, along with, now I'm getting some roasted in the finish there. My mouth is immediately covered with very dark burnt sugars and a little bit of a bitterness astringency, and that's coating the entire back side of my mouth, top and bottom. They slowly dissipate, but those residual, that astringency, it's sticking around for quite a while.
I find drinking from the glass, having the third or fourth sip, it actually, I guess it's the aeration that it changes the flavor of drinking straight from the bottle. There's that bitterness.
Yes.
That I got.
Yeah, I get a level of bitterness from the bottle.
Itself.
Yeah, I don't get the glass. That burnt caramel sugar, like I talked about. Not getting malty backbone. No sweetness, no maltiness, no coffee, chocolate. I'm starting getting bread, biscuit, grainy flavors like that. Most that stands out is that bitterness. She noticed molasses, which I did not. I noticed some cooked sugar, candy, toffee out of the glass that I did not get out of the bottle. So the difference we can tell is out of the bottle, it's more bitter. This is hard to say if there are off flavors to it. I think there are. The bottle isn't damaged in the way of like sunlight or chemical, papery, rubber, plastic, diacetyl fusel alcohols. I do taste astringency, and I don't know if that's from oversparging. I don't know if that's just from too much of a dark malt. It tastes like something's a little bit wrong. Would I buy this one again? No, I would not buy it again. I'm not pleased with it. Would I recommend it? No, I would not. There is no typical Christmas beer. They're all done a little bit differently. It just doesn't taste like a holiday beer should to me.
I find that everybody has a different palate. So, you know, maybe they were trying to step out of the typical brew of holiday beer. It's not to my liking.
So overall, we find it below average. Anchor Brewing, San Francisco, California, Christmas Ale 2018. Unique recipe for this year, and label as well. If you have any comments, feedback, you've had this particular year of this beer, yeah, let us know what you think. Maybe it's just us, but we're not pressed. Alright folks, that's all for this review. We're going to move on to different beers. Cheers.